And welcome to Cruising with Kayfabe about Mongo.
And I'm Jeff.
And it's Saturday night, so it's time for some
Shenanigans.
There has been a lot that has happened in the wrestling world this week. From SummerSlam to Grand Slam Mexico to Collision to the G1. We've had returns, we've had some debuts, we've had some pretty great wrestling, so I figured it's a good night to talk about it. And I guess let's start with SummerSlam. We'll kind of work our way up. We had some amazing returns, and you have some notes. So, what did you kind of want to talk about that happened in the old land of Stanford?
Well, so night one, I'll just start with that, I guess. So, definitely one of the things I wanted to bring up was Randy Orton coming back, which I was slightly surprised he helped Punk win. But then again, I guess before he was out, he did kind of have a little thing with Cody. But super happy about that. I'm a big Orton guy, always kind of have been. So, especially for the WWE product. And then my other big one from night one was Nick fucking Aldis, the national fucking treasure. Awesome. So glad to see him get his match. I don't care if it ever leads. Yes, and that was awesome too. And I don't care if he ever gets another one, because I did watch some or listen to / watch the Chris Van Fleet with him. And he was starting to get me a little bit because I watched him during his NWA run. We saw him at Wrestling at the Chase in St. Louis, which if anybody knows about St. Louis wrestling out there, Chase was a big one for us around here.
That's awesome. So. No, I'm a big Nick Aldis guy too. Loved seeing him as like a surprise guest on the cruise when Mickey came on.
Yep.
Really cool to see him. And then we got to see him at the Dorton Arena in an indie show. A little before he left NWA, but then obviously all in against Cody. Him and his whole Cody's whole rivalry was a fun story.
Yeah.
Always happy to see. He looked in incredible shape. Not that he ever lost it, but still looked good in the ring. Still looked good for his shape. Then the tearjerker, his kid Mickey, come in the ring, and you're just like, it was beautiful. That's to me that's wrestling right there. You get that moment on a big stage to show off what you can do and share with your family.
Correct. And when, as a fan, we can see that emotion and that, all of that. Because you could even see that before they got in. You could see it when he came out for his entrance. He was fucking hyped. You know what I mean? He climbed up on the ring post to, do his little pose, and he was jacked and he was ready to rock, So, and I was just super happy for him because he's a very good worker. He's a good talker. I mean, look what he did for the company NWA. If anybody out there watches it or doesn't or whatever else, he made Charlotte, the 10 pounds of gold, relevant again.
Prestige back, yeah.
Because it wasn't since, and I don't even know at certain times it wasn't that prestigious in TNA. Let's just be honest. They were kind of hanging on. Maybe in the beginning, in that early 2000s, it was still prestigious, but it kind of lost some steam there for a while. So he really elevated it, and for like 2.5 years or something, he had it there with NWA. And he made a lot of people look good out in that company, and and really showed what he could do. So I was just super happy for him. So
I just used to love the image of him wearing like the maroon suit, carrying Charlotte around, proud as a peacock. Like it brought back a lot of those. Yeah, when you watch some of the older clips. Well, for me, it was watching the older clips. I didn't watch a lot of NWA live as a kid. But seeing the Harley races and the Dusties and everyone carry that belt, it was just nice to see a champion carry that belt again. It's nice to see him back. And someone who, again, and I'll be fully transparent, I did not watch SummerSlam live. I did watch highlights on YouTube and catch up on what I wanted to see. But Kevin Owens coming back was something, because I'm a huge Kevin Owens. Kevin Steen was my boy in Ring of Honor. So seeing him come back after an neck injury that could have potentially ended his career where he didn't know. You talk about choked up. I listened to his interview where he talked about, I didn't know if I was going to come back, and see him come back. And now maybe he's going to be able to get one final title run. Who knows? Let him kind of finish his career. He said he only has a few left. So I'm just happy as a Kevin Owens fan that he's doing something meaningful. He's back. He's healthy. And he's hopefully can finish the way he wants to finish, because if you never saw Kevin Steen, El Generico, or Kevin Steen Generico versus the Briscoes, or any of his stuff in Ladder Warfare, Ring of Honor, you need to go back and watch it, because that man was on another level. Not that he stopped, but...
Well, and look at his career, too. Just the different things that have been happening, like he got... Hey, Steve. Well, he got frustrated, said, fuck it, then got real fat, then started losing it, but he's still doing all the same shit, like he wasn't. Then he ends up making it, and then goes to the big company, when he's not in the better shape and other things. Now, he's been in better shape the last few years, of course, but you know what I mean? But when he was in probably his best shape as a youngster, nobody really wanted him that much besides Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, so.
He definitely was kind of like the punk rock of wrestling, no pun intended, to his current direction, but that's what I liked about it. I agree with Steve. I think Kevin Steen, if he ever had an AEW run, or if he ever had that chance, reunite with the Bucks Mount Rushmore, having some of those matches, I think he would have done well. I think now he's just happy with his role, and it stinks that we won't see it, but I'm just glad. Hopefully, he'll still be successful because I'm a big fan of him. And another one, Penta. Seeing Penta get to have a decent title run, but then Chad Gable, who I absolutely love Chad Gable. He reminds me of like the Kurt Angle type. His El Grande 100%. Match was probably one of my favorite matches, Master of Smack. Seeing that hometown moment, that was cool for him. Seeing again his kid, his wife in the ring. I wasn't too big on the whole root beer mascot. I saw the clip of that. Like, I don't understand. And then you have the announcer saying, "You got the dog in you," but okay, I'm not here to poo-poo on it too much. But
right, and then of course we got to bring up Chelsea Green. Motherfucking Green. Oh, I knew she would be. That was great too. I felt really good for her because I saw that and I was like, "Oh, that is outstanding." I am so glad they did that. We'll see how long it lasts, but I don't really care.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's, to be NP transparent, that's pretty much what I know from... Hi, Jess, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
That's pretty much what I know from... I don't know if you have any other notes on some of that. That's pretty much what I... Again, I didn't really watch a whole lot. I just don't want to make sure we miss anything before we move on.
Baron Corbin coming back and winning the U.S. That was kind of unexpected.
Weird.
Yep.
Excuse me. I did see Little Yachty taking the world's worst table bump. I feel bad. That dude definitely broke a rib. He just bounced off that table before he went through. And I don't know. They got to start gimmicking these tables, man. I feel like we're seeing a lot more people just bouncing off tables lately. Maybe they got to saw just a little bit in the middle to help them break a little easier. Because poor Sky Blue, even in Eve the other day, she goes to do basically a sunset flip powerbomb through the table, and she kind of just bounces off it, and it's like, ow.
Right.
That hurts a lot more than going through it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Rachel, come here. I'm going to let her take over for a second. I got to use the bathroom.
No worries.
Take this.
I knew it. Hello, hello.
Hello, Ms. Rachel. How are you?
Good, how are y'all?
Good. Welcome to Saturday night. Welcome to some...
Shenanigans.
Love it, love it, love it.
So, we'll start off. What was your favorite moment this week in wrestling? Is there anything that was like one of your favorite moments this week?
I will say that I did love the Will Ospreay fight. That was so good. They went all out in that fight. Oh, I just loved it. And I saw there was lots of blood too.
There was a crazy amount of blood. They were bleeding buckets. They were just the barbed wire when he did the hidden blade. Dunkzilla just picking him up, dropping him. Then did you see the poor concession guy was coming back with popcorn, and Dunkzilla just threw Ospreay into the crowd, and the guy just fucking went flying.
Yes. It was a good show.
I hope that was a plant, because if that was a real person, holy crap. He's got a lawsuit.
Yes.
It made that arena some goals, though. I don't know about you, but that Arena Mexico crowd seemed on fire the entire night. I want to be in that crowd.
I know, they were. I was like, why is it so popular? And it was a huge crowd, and it was all the seats were taken.
No, that Arena Mexico has been selling out like crazy. I guess there was a stat that something along the lines of they had the most sellouts of any major promotion of a 10,000 plus seat venue or more. Some crazy stat. So it's they're doing something right. And then Steve says the real champ is back. That's right. MJF is back. Steve is
he thinks he's the real champ.
Yes. Definitely a little bit delusional there, Steve, but I was shocked. But speaking of blood, he bloodied up Andrade.
Oh, I know.
That was interesting. I'm glad Andrade. I'm glad he got number one, but we have him and MJF. If MJF wins next week and gets number 2, I don't think they're going to let each other win that gauntlet. I think they're going to beat the fuck out of each other at All In.
Yes, agreed. I see it coming, definitely. But Andrade needs to get those pants that you rip them off.
The Velcro, yes.
Yes, he does not need to be taking them off in the damn ring. Just rip them bitches off and be done with it.
Like the basketball warm-up one?
Yes. That's what he needs. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, that everyone. Rachel says that Andrade needs easy tear pants.
He does. Dang it. He takes too much time, then he gets his boot all caught up in it, and it's just too much. All right, we'll see you, Josh. Bye, everybody.
And there's a cameo from Rachel. Sorry, I had to use the restroom.
Oh, you're totally fine.
Oh,
I was talking about how good the Ospreay Davis fight was, and Ospreay getting yeeted into that poor guy in the crowd. Yep. And the guy just popcorn just goes everywhere. And then Andrade getting the number 1 contender, but then like Steve said, the real champ is back. MJF comes back.
Yep. With
his big, beautiful Burberry belt. Mm-hmm. Ospreay assaulted him in the title match. It was just...
It's always assault.
Oh. I kind of knew. I mean, we kind of knew he was coming after Andrade because Andrade's been flexing that ring. He's been showing, hey, I got your ring. How you know?
Yep, 100%.
I guess we could kind of pivot to that story. So we have MJF trying to go for the number 2 spot next week against Speedball and Nick Wayne as declared tonight on Collision.
Yep.
I loved Nick's bravado. I love him going up to Speedball saying, how many opportunities are you going to get? How many are you going to fumble? I'm going to show you how to take an opportunity and roll with it. So now you have MJF, Nick Wayne, and Speedball vying for the number 2 spot. If MJF gets it, how is this going to work with Andrade? I feel like this is going to just be a big blow-up. They're going to have a feud.
Of some sort, because you can't solve anything in a gauntlet. It's just there's too many people. There's too many shenanigans going on.
Shenanigans?
There it is. So you can't solve anything. Now it can be a good, start. They already laid down the seeds and planted the seeds for us. So, it should be pretty easy to run with because MJF can talk and Andrade can work as well as MJF. So, I mean, let MJF talk. Let Andrade do how you knows, and we'll have a great match. I'm sure whenever they do actually have their singles, because it's coming.
It's going to blow off to all out. Like if they're going to cost each other.
That's kind of where.
Here's my way too early tinfoil, and this is the reason. If you look very closely on the cover to this episode, you'll see it's not just MJF and Andrade alone. What if MJF announces next week that when he wins the gauntlet, he has cash out a triple threat? He has to give 7 days notice, though. The announcers were very specific to say it's 7 days notice if they win the gauntlet. So it wouldn't be able to be the same night. But I do see Andrade and MJF kind of canceling each other out of the equation, but I see someone else swerving when they drive. That way he gave... Oh, so you're saying that... I don't know. That'd be a real nasty loophole. That'd be a real nasty loophole, though. Mm-hmm. Saying I gave notice early. I mean, that'd be a very heel thing to do. I don't know. I think if he does win it, I think it goes to All Out. But I'm thinking Swerve wins this. I think Swerve's Ospreay's first opponent. Swerve beat Ospreay as champ. Now it's time for Ospreay to beat Swerve as champ.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. I agree with that as well.
And then obviously you can't talk about Swerve without his counterpart, and that's Hangman Adam Page, who finally made his return to the ring. Love the Three Amigos tribute. Yeah. Steve Martin, one of my favorite movies growing up. I still love when Steve Martin gets mad and goes, "Have a point." It makes it so much more interesting for the listener. I just love that they came out and we got the Hangman lower thirds back. It's just everything is fun, but they beat the demand, and I had a
hot shot,
but I didn't think they'd pull the trigger that quick.
I mean, I like the matches and I like different things, but man, we all wanted the demand to win, and then all of a sudden we're hot shotting again. Like I said, I get it, but that was way too soon. I mean, what, they have one defense and then that?
Yeah,
I think right.
think it was like they won, had a defense, and then lost. So it's.
So I assume there's going to be a big storyline here with that.
There's got to be something.
Yeah, because that's way too fast.
And also, they need something for All In. So I feel there's got to be something big here because they need something for All In. So you can't keep Hangman off the card.
That's where and Swerve for that matter. I mean, and honestly, MJF, which we already think we got that, but I mean,
I don't want to see Swoop. That is true. I don't know. I just think that would be the perfect place to bring him back, but I mean, I don't know how else to bring Swerve back. I think that's the kind of conundrum. Like, they got to find a way to bring him back. Joe's lurking; he's almost done filming. So you have Samoa Joe, and you have Swerve. You got to find a way to somehow get back, and you can't mid card them.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But what's the series at? Wasn't Swerve up on him? Still
Swerve
a couple?
is up on him, so this would even or
I thought he'd still be one behind. Like I thought Swerve had a 3-match lead on him or something. Or you know what I mean? I may be wrong.
That wasn't a win. They had that draw. That's right.
Yeah, so I was thinking Swerve was up. Even with Ospreay winning, I thought Swerve was still up on him. So
why did they just drop the Speedball versus Knife? I feel like, I'm not sure. I really thought we were going to get Speedball versus Knight 2. I mean, not number 2.
Or triple threat even, possibly.
It almost feels like there's a story brewing here with Nick Wayne. I almost feel like is Nick Wayne going to get the Ring of Honor title and Speedball going to go after that title? You just belted up Bandito. Next week you have Bandito defending against Nick Wayne at Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. They are 1-1. Okay, I was going to say it's that draw.
Oh, okay. See, I thought so they only did 3 matches. I thought they had more from other stuff they were counting too. You know what I mean? Other promotions. So, in AEW, yes, sir. Yep. I agree.
So do we have Nick Wayne take the Ring of Honor title next week from Bandito, which I would not be opposed to.
Please.
Bring Bandito up to be on the main roster. Nick Wayne would have a killing it, but then is that who Speedball goes after? I don't want a Ring of Honor title defense unless it's the pre-show, but then Speedball only on the pre-show? It seems like there's a lot to digest here in the next 3 weeks. What they're going to get on the show and who they're going to put on. I mean, we just got Darby versus Kevin Knight potentially announced. Very interesting promo from Kevin saying, well, first I got to take care of business. I got to beat Jericho, get my win back.
Okay,
and, I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure he is. I don't think Jericho's taking that TNT title. I'll be shocked. I will be completely shocked if somehow Jericho takes that TNT title. Speedball winning All In, now you're not going to be a huge pop. Bandito should not lose to Nick Wayne. Not a Nick Wayne fan, I take it then.
Nick fucking Wayne. Well, we're also biased because of the cruise. I'll just say that up front. I'm a Nick Wayne fan because of the cruise, because he's been on 2 of them or so, and he's awesome. He's a good dude.
I got to see a random match one day from GCW, him versus Ospreay, back when he was 16 or 15, and just went, holy crap, this kid is good. And I think he has a lot of potential. And I know you don't want Bandito to lose it to him, but I feel like he's kind of the right one to get that rub in Ring of Honor and kind of.
But who else? Because then when Bandito has matches, we can finally say, wow, he might actually win this match and win a championship instead of, well, he's the Ring of Honor champion. I've said that. What have we said that for the last 3 months? Or something. Oh, Bandito's in a great match and he'll do great and whatever else, but we know he ain't winning because it's it's not a champion versus champion, but he is a other champion. And
right, it's almost like, you don't think, yes, it is interesting. I think, especially where Ring of Honor is a week before All In, I think you could see a lot of things shake up. Mm-hmm. I mean, do we see Athena losing? Do we see Bandito losing? Both of them kind of get freed up for All In. Does Athena just keep going? When does that end? There's a lot of... And I think there's a lot of talent coming to Ring of Honor. I think there's going to be a lot of talent. I think if you put Roddy and KOR on there, I think you got to give them the tag team titles and let them go on a tear. You kind of have them in the Kingdom kind of be the veteran group going on a tear with some of the young guys.
Yeah, the only bad thing is right now Roddy and Kyle are pretty heavy on TV.
Yeah, and they're in the Cup, so that's the only, I think.
Yeah. I agree with Steve, though. I'm going to agree with Steve on they need to add some better talent, per se. Just maybe rotate some veterans. I'm not going to say keep them down there per se, but like you're saying, like
little stints.
Well, I know Jay Lethal's kind of been down there trying to help Lethal Twist and get those guys going, So I understand there's some of it, and especially with those guys who are, Ring of Honor alumni that were big parts of those shows.
I mean, Roosh, I would love to see definitely get more of a push in Ring of Honor if he's not going to get a push on AEW. And I agree, we haven't seen Roosh versus Bandito yet. And
that would be solid.
That would definitely be an interesting one. I could see him taking it off him too. I don't know if you saw the latest with Roosh, but we don't plan on seeing him at Arena Mexico ever. He's got a lot of bad history with CML, apparently. I don't know the whole backstory. But Andrade was talking about his stable, and he was talking about his history. And when he mentioned Roosh, they bleeped him out, basically.
Oh,
and
wow.
then Roosh kind of came out and was like, you don't have to erase my history or edit videos and do all these things. He kind of basically saying, that was a chapter of my story, but I'm ready to go. So it sounds like he's closed to CMLL, and so I think he's taken the high road because of the partnership. He doesn't want to, piss off anyone and mess it up for AEW. But it explains why every time there's any of their stable, like when Sammy went down there or Mordos or anyone else, why he was never there. Send Hook to Ring of Honor. I think Hook will be good in Ring of Honor too. Hook's been showing up at GCW. I appreciate that he's going out there working the indies to try to develop different styles. I think it's a nice touch. Like you see Lio Rush, he's on Ring of Honor, but he also just won the House of Glory Cruiserweight title.
Yep.
So he's been going out to the indies. He's been going everywhere too. So I think they definitely have a good crop of veterans, a good crop of well-traveled people.
Because we got Shotzi on the cruise, we need Leo. Throwing that out there right now. We need Leo and Shotzi on the cruise. We already got Shotzi. I need Leo.
And they work together. So, you already have a tag team that you could have a great intergender match with because you have Shotzi who could be the worker and Leo who can do all the fun, sports entertainment, gimmicky, house show stuff.
Yep.
I can see Leo just walking up to the referee. It's gonna rain.
Yep. He knows. I love it. I
think he'd creep everyone on the cruise too. Just imagine him just his photo
walking around. Oh yeah.
It'd be like Abaddon when they were walking around.
Even more so because Abaddon didn't really talk. She just screamed. He actually is allowed to have some lines and stuff, and everybody's going to be doing it. They're going to all be wearing them little rain hats, and I had one of those back in the day, so.
I remember there was a commercial on local television. Some guy was trying to always give me deals, and he had the hat and had dollar bills on fishing line on the hat.
Yep, I got that for a birthday gift one time. Yep. From my aunt, she liked to do the weird presents, wrap the box inside of the box, inside of the box, inside of the box, inside of the box, inside of the box. Or they did.
Like a nesting doll almost?
Yes, and then also, I had to open up 12 cards to spell something out to know what it was. And you had to arrange them in order. So it's clever. Oh my gosh, yeah, she was fun with that stuff.
Clever.
Yep.
Leo and Shotzi would be amazing. Speaking of Ring of Honor, you can bring Shotzi into Ring of Honor. You can bring she's a phenomenal worker. I think she got a bad rap in WWE because, no offense, the last big feud they put her in was Ronda fucking Rousey,
and that wasn't going to go well.
It's kind of hard to carry Ronda.
Well, and you're not going to be able to because she's going over and everything else. So it's kind of a moot point.
But watching her work on the indies, seeing her her presence, not only her death matches, her hardcore style, she would fit right in with this roster. She'd fit right in. And it's someone that you don't need to have to. Oh, she needs to be a women's champion right away. It could be she can be the ROH Women's Television Champion. She could just work. They could start doing their intergenders that way. There's a lot of stuff they could do, and I think Steve's right there. I think Leo and Shotzi would be a great pairing, especially since they already call themselves the Blackhearts.
Oh yeah, and it works. And then going on to his comment, Steve's as well, I don't see anybody that's on Bandito's level to take the title. I don't necessarily disagree. That's kind of where my questions are coming in about who takes it. Roosh might be the best candidate for that just because
Roosh would be good.
He's the most legit. Yes, he is already a former, at least one time, if not two times, I don't remember exactly on that, but I know he's at least held it once, at least. So, I mean, he does have the lineage with it. So, I mean, that would be a viable possibility. Plus, he's already down there. Whereas the other guys, you would be bringing them down there. And I don't know if I consider that right because, you know, Ring of Honor is supposed to be like their development in a way. Yeah, you use veterans that are in the roles to fill in down there, but it's still kind of not their development, but it's supposed to be, you know, hey, you do this, then you work your way up, you know. Like I said, I still can't believe Athena's still down there. Like, how the hell is that still a thing? I know they gave her the championship run, and it beat all that, and that's great because I'm glad to see that. Never been a big Roman Reigns. Yeah, and that's like I've said it, 2 or 3 predictions now and whatever else that this and that's going to happen and whatever else, and it's getting closer, but
I know it seems we really need Bandito and Athena up to the main roster. Like, I think they've already done everything they can do in Ring of Honor. I don't think there's much more they can do, much more they should have to do. I like this from Maureen too. If they're not using Lance Archer as much in the ring, maybe they should Ring of Honor. Commentators already mentioned on more than one occasion that Alex Zane has went over Bandito. And I do like that because Zane and Murder Hawk, they were a great team together.
Oh, I like some Lance Archer. I mean, he could be a good role guy down there where he wouldn't have to take a shitload of bumps because I do know he had that hand injuries over now, but then he had a little bit of back stuff when him and Brian Cage did that movie. I know he had some little bit of lower back problems, so I know they had to kind of work around that. So, I mean, if he's healthy, he could definitely help the product because, I mean, he's a veteran. He's got his New Japan experience as well as his TNA experience, you know what I mean, and things like that. You know, he's a big veteran guy. He can help the bigger dudes learn how to work bigger, per se, you know. I mean, I don't see that being a bad thing.
Yeah, and he could easily help someone like a Jordan Oliver, Alec Price, like have, you know, maybe do a series of, like, you know, not open challenges per se, but who's going to step up to the monster, or him just grabbing random people backstage, beating them up in the ring, until one day maybe you have like an Alec Price or a Jordan Oliver, like, I'm going to step up to this guy and get like a surprise victory, leading to a match at a pay-per-view where you can kind of, so you could easily, like you said, yeah, have him work big, have him kind of be a monster, and then have someone kind of conquer that monster once or twice to kind of help elevate them. I think that would be definitely a good transition. He's really good at that too. He's very underrated. He doesn't get a lot of appreciation for what he can do because of how big he is and how strong he is. I mean, I go back to that, you know, New Japan run 2019, him in the G1. Like, the first time I ever saw him in the G1, I was like, holy crap, this guy can go.
Oh, yeah. Well, what was his name? I forget, in TNA. Because I did see him in Lance Hoyt.
Yes.
Lance Hoyt. So I did watch him some there, and I thought he was good. I was like, man, bigger guy that can actually move around and do some stuff. I always can appreciate that. Always. Yes.
Would be amazing at Ring of Honor. I love
just in general. I just want him in the AEW universe, we'll say. I don't care what show it's on.
Right.
Sign that motherfucker because I was a big King Cuerno fan on Lucha. He was badass. He was one of their top wrestlers, and he went hard, which is one of the things I appreciated back then because he worked kind of stiff in Lucha. And I always can appreciate the guys like AJ and them guys that work stiff. You know, I like it. Sell that shit. Lay it in.
I really thought we were going to see him either in that 6-man tag or with Fletcher and Speedball. I thought we were going to see him debut after. I really thought we were, but we didn't.
Yep.
But before we move on to kind of collision in the Continental Cup, I do want to mention Speedball versus Fletcher. Incredible match. I think that was my favorite match. Besides the street fight, that was probably my favorite match from Grand Slam. Those 3 matches Speedball and Fletcher have were amazing. I think they did a great job with that trilogy. Don't think it's done yet, but I like that they had so much chemistry together. And I got to give props to Kyle because one of my favorite spots, he's tired, he's blown up, he's exhausted, and he's kind of crawling to the corner, which sets up Speedball to hit the ultimate weapon with his knees off the turnbuckle. And I like that he didn't just awkwardly wait for 5 minutes for Speedball to get in position. I like that it was kind of like him struggling to come to and then Speedball hitting it.
Right.
And I just thought it was good psychology. It shows how smart Kyle Fletcher is and how much he's really grown. And I agree. Steve mentioned it earlier that Kyle Fletcher is one of the fastest rising stars in wrestling, and I'm glad that AEW locked him down because I see him world champion by next year, no matter what. Kyle fucking Fletcher, Protostar, that's right.
That is right. Yeah. And then kind of another sleeper that was on that Grand Slam Mexico show. There was some good spots, and I thought it wasn't the match of the night, but I thought Persephone Chris had some potential there. I thought that match had some potential. There were some good spots, some hard hitting spots, some athleticism.
Persephone finally got a fucking win.
Yes, exactly. Which, good for Chris for helping put her over. I mean, they're trying to do these, deals and whatever else. Yeah, it does. That turnbuckle brainbuster does sometimes. I agree.
Every time, it's just whoa.
Well, he sells it as he's putting a ton of impact into it, which is what I like, because he hits it and kind of falls back. You know what I mean? Like, he acts like he's really fucking driving him in there when really it's just a barely even touching a shoulder or something on that turnbuckle. So I mean, but go ahead. No, you're good. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I like how he sets it up now. He almost like takes them and just throws them face first into the corner or the buckle to like disorient them. So like, again, I like that he's using things to set up spots, because I think it's such
helps
a
it make sense. Yeah, it helps it make sense. And then, like I said, when he does get him up there, he real quick just like, like drops his knees and kind of, he really tries to make it look like he's really laying it in. And like I said, I always can appreciate some of the stiff work and making it look stiff, regardless if it is or not. I need you to suspend my belief. That's all I need. Just help me do it. That's it. And I will.
And he's definitely someone that he can, like you said, he works in such a way where you're like, oh God, that's brutal. But then you're like, that's probably the safest spot he did.
Yep. 100%.
Like when he threw Speedball into the guardrails, everyone was going crazy online. Oh my God, that's so dangerous. He threw him into like 4-inch padding, and Speedball had his hands out first.
Right.
It's because, like you said, the way he sold it, like he threw it with all his might, and he threw himself backwards, like he, exhausted everything. Speedball's a trained martial artist. He knows how to take a bump and take a fall.
Correct. He knows how to move his body probably better than most guys out there.
That's the name of it. Yes, dart throw. I love the camera view they did when he came through the crowd. Oh, their camera views.
They're getting way better. They're getting way better. They're starting to really get locked in there. But I was going to say, speaking of like the dart throw, it's a little different, but I hear that and I always think of the arrow from whatever that King Cuerno Santos Escobar used to do, because one of the best suicide dive. Like, I mean, that dude he launched himself better than Darby. I mean, like,
he go like 200 miles an hour.
he was running the ropes, hitting them about as fast as you can, down, back, and then going through the ropes. And I mean, he every time was launching himself, 10 foot out of the ring to hit these guys. Stuff like that, but hitting them every time with impact. Not just, that little push. Oh, I missed you.
Where it's like they catch, but person doesn't even move because there's like no force behind it.
You're right, because they're catching them and they're like, oh no, well, here, hold on, let's suplex you real quick or something. So
I always liked the way Brody, I don't remember who it was a smaller wrestler. Someone like went to dive at Brody, he just looked at him and I just he went, pfft. And I like that he kind of sold, like, if you're going to do it with some force.
Yep.
Like, he was heel, bro. This is his House of Black days, but it's always comical to me to see that's like, really. But
right.
yeah, no, King Cuerno, I'll never forget. I think it was probably season 3 or season 2 where he ran out, dove out, ran back in the ring, dove out the other side, went back in, dove out the other side, got back in, dove out. Like, he just went through 4 sections.
I think it was Aztec Warfare 2.
Was it? Okay.
I think it was something like that. Or one of them type shows, or the very end of the year shows that they would do, which I thought that was not Aztec Warfare. Whatever the hell their final, like their WrestleMania for the end of the year type thing was. But man, he always, it was one of their
big shows, yeah.
Always, yeah. But he would always sell that shit. It was great. The Arrow from the Depths or whatever I think they called it.
Or when he would do the one where he did it a few times in NXT, and if he brings that back too, where it was, I mean, if you know the secret behind it, it's not as cool. But when you see him do it, it's fun. When he was on the apron, he's on the ropes, and someone pulls the ropes, and he just floats like a moonsault and just would float.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's getting launched by someone, but how is he staying in the air longer? Like, that's what always impressed me. Is like, these guys know how to contort their bodies to slow down and turn so it looks like they're floating. It's just, the athleticism is off the charts.
Yep, I would say Kevin Knight's a great one for that, for an example.
He is.
That dude gets some serious air. Oh yeah, he gets some serious air on a lot of his spots. So
I agree, and I am really excited to see his direction. But a match tonight, got to get into. But first, before we get into the match, I think let's talk about the Continental Cup and we can kind of get into the matches because I know it's a little divisive. I'm excited for the Continental Cup, maybe selfishly because we are going, but I think it's cool because now this Continental Championship, there's 2 tournaments around it, summer and winter. The champion's going to have to legitimately be a fighting champion because not only are they going to have title defenses, one-off title defenses, they're now going to have to go through grueling tournaments and win tournaments to keep this belt. So I think I'm not going to say it adds prestige, but I think it adds something special to this belt. It makes this belt finally mean something more than just a prop. Like hey, he's the Continental Champion. Damn, he went through the fucking tournament, went through World's End, and he went through the Cup. Like, he's got the Cup and the belt. He's a beast.
He went through 15 other guys to get there. Then he's got to try to then keep it and then make it through another tournament. So, yeah, I agree. It's going to definitely make it that Workman Horse Championship.
And I like who they've put in the tournament, and I like that it's all randomized. That every time except for the playoffs, every time they have a match, if you win, you get put back in a hat. Basically, it's all random. So you could be fighting your friend, you could be fighting your stablemate, you could be fighting your rival, you could be fighting someone you've never fought before, and I like that concept. So this past Friday, they announced the participants. Moxley, obviously, is defending champion.
Yep.
Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, Nigel McGuinness, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Shibata,
go Nigel.
David Finlay, Ace Austin, Jay White, Matt Sydal, Jungle Jack Perry, Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, Heshiero, Claudio, and Eddie Kingston. And
really good lineup. Really good lineup.
Basically, the way it works is there's no outside interference and no time limits, which I like the no time limits, so there's no fucking draws.
I agree.
16 wrestlers compete in 8 blind draw matches. The 8 winners will then compete in 4, so the final 8 will go to the final 4. The final 4 will wrestle in Glasgow, Scotland, with the finals taking place at All In on August 30th. The winner will not only receive the belt, but they receive that cup. And I like it because Wembley is home of the FA Cup. This kind of recognizes it. And I agree with Steve. Tournaments equal better wrestling. People are going to turn it up, and it makes every match mean something because it's like King of the Ring. It's like anything else, any other single elimination tournament. It's like the NCAA.
Yeah. Yep.
So, what are your what are your initial thoughts on the tournament, and kind of maybe what are some of your hopes?
I'm pretty excited for it, and then especially now that they've announced who the participants are, I'm really looking forward to it. It's a really strong group. I know they had matches tonight that I wasn't able to see, but from what I've talked to you already, I got my predictions right, and it sounds like make sure I watch Collision tomorrow because of some of these matches. So I'm very excited about that. Nigel being in this super excites me. The Jay White David Finlay matchup, I think that's going to be fire too. I think that's the preview for the start of that to bigger things. I'm definitely excited for Roddy. I'm definitely excited for Roddy versus Kyle. Cage versus Hechicero, because that could be some more dissent in the Dodd Callis family. So those are some, I think, points I'm looking at. But I also had my predictions for who I thought was going to win, and from what you told me, I nailed them, my first 3. But I also then had Jay White, Moxley, Kyle O'Reilly. I picked Kyle over Roddy, and I hated to do that. It hurt my heart a little bit.
You picked Kyle over.
Yep.
Wow.
I know. Then Brian Cage and Nigel, just because I'm picking Nigel no matter what. Because my tinfoil and my greediness for going to All In London wants to see Nigel in London, because I'll be wearing his shirt too. So
Okay.
That's my greediness and my tinfoil. So, and I agree with Steve too. Tournaments do equal better wrestling because it does make something be on the line and makes every match, even though it's not for a championship, it technically is. You know, you're vying for a spot to get to that championship. So,
and it makes the next week, of wrestling, mean something before it gets to the go home show. So it kind of helps set the stage for your go home show and for All In. That's already a good thing.
Yep.
So tonight we had, to open the show, we had Ace Austin versus Claudio. Fantastic match. I love that they let Ace Austin show. Claudio went over, but I liked that it was not just a beat down of Ace. It was...
Well, it wasn't a squash.
Right. it was very much Claudio took control. Ace, got some momentum, tried what he could, but Claudio, he's the veteran. He's smarter. He knows. Some of the counters are beautiful. But again, I think it protected Ace in the loss. He didn't look like a dork. He didn't lose momentum. It looked like he went down in a hard-fought tournament, and I like that it wasn't a quick match. And I also like, without spoiling too much, there's a really cool spot where he's in the big swing, and he counters the big swing. And Emily made a point. She's like, have we seen someone counter the big swing like that? I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen someone.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool. Like, they worked the transitions. But with Moxley being in the tournament, Claudio, just like with the C2, Claudio is going to be somewhere knocking around that. So that was a good prediction by you.
And Claudio, let's be honest, yes, he is a bigger, stronger guy, but he can work well enough with these smaller guys to definitely make them look good and get a few things in, because he can help power some things and get it over quicker, or better, per se, because the motherfucker's just so goddamn strong. I don't care what anyone says. That's probably one of the strongest dudes in wrestling. You know what I mean? They've said it back when he was in WWE over Sheamus and all these other guys. They're like, no. They're like, Cesaro at the time, they're like, was just a beast. Like, nobody lifts with him and everything else.
Strong, where you're like, oh, he's strong. Oh, no, he's strong.
because he's got that lankier build. Yes, he's muscular and cut and stuff, but he's not that huge bodybuilder. You know what I mean? He's not Brian Cage, per se.
True.
No shot at Brian Cage, because Brian Cage is awesome, and I've seen Brian Cage do some awesome shit. But it's different with Claudio.
And you could even see a Claudio and a Brian Cage, which would be wild to see.
That'd be fire. That would be fire.
So then, our next tournament matchup that we have to keep on the tournament was Orange Cassidy versus Matt Sydal.
Hey, Rachel. What? Oh, never mind.
I was going to say, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Matt Sydal making his first singles match return in 26 months, which I thought was crazy to see, but he didn't miss a step. I'm happy to see he looked great. Orange Cassidy brought back Jane for his entrance music. I liked everything about it. I liked, again, another match that showcased both men. It wasn't 50-50, and it wasn't like anyone dominated. It was good. Both men kind of got their shit in, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Orange Cassidy going on. Again, another person from Moxley's past that could face Moxley. So that's what's great, too, is Moxley could have to go through the gauntlet before getting to the finals even, which is a plus.
Yes, definitely.
And then our main event was Jake Doyle. I'm just talking like Big Show here because he kept calling the dude Jack Doyle. Like, Big Show just kept calling him Jack Doyle, and then finally he's like, I mean Jake Doyle. And Emily made the best joke. She goes, he could have been, it's Jake something. He could have easily made that joke.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could have, definitely.
But it was good to see Eddie back on Dynamite. I mean, on Collision. It was good to see him back in general. I like that he made the Billy Madison joke when he was just like, what, Doyle, you don't rule, but a king does. And there's just, I like that he finally, said the joke we were all thinking. It was a great match, great to see Eddie, but again, he's kind of a dark horse I see going far. I don't know if I see him winning, but he definitely put it out there that he's like, listen, I was the first person to win the Continental Championship. I could be the first person to win the Cup.
Right.
So I like that he put his heart on the line. I like, again, a story for Eddie. I'm never going to say no.
Yeah. Yep.
And then still to come, I mean, they set it up tonight. We have Jay White taking on David Finlay. And I love that even after the dogs lose, you have Juice saying, you can't have your little bitches help you. You can't have the Death Riders. It's just one-on-one, you across from Jay. And my tinfoil is Jay's winning the whole damn thing. So I see him winning. I see Jay White dethroning Moxley at all. That's my tinfoil, but again, I've been wrong before, and I'll be happy because with these participants, there's not too many people that I'd be like, really?
I mean, I'd take Nigel versus anybody in the championship.
100%. If Nigel wins, I'm going to be jumping up and down with you.
So I'll take my tinfoil just once Nigel. I don't care. He's definitely beating Shibata. Sorry, Shibata.
AEW has so much great talent. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And then when you see them put it out, you're like, wow, there's still so much more they're not using, which is good in that thing.
Well, I'm gonna throw some out here, and I'm not bashing them, but WWE SummerSlam was 12 matches over 2 nights. The last pay-per-view we watched for AEW, I think, was what? 10 matches and two or three
Two pre-show
dark
matches at least.
two and then that Rougeau thing.
Yeah.
So 12 matches, and we got it in 3 hours and 45 minutes or whatever. So I don't know why you need 2 nights for 12 matches when the longest match was, like 21 minutes or something? Or something like that. Like, there was no matches that went over, I don't think, even 25 minutes. Some of the matches, their entrances went longer, it seemed like, than the matches. And I didn't even watch it. I just saw
I think
clips.
the average minutes of Redemption was like 12, 13 minutes, which is not a bad thing. You want him to breathe a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Green
But
says
then when you get into main event... Okay. No, good. I was reading her comment, too.
Yep, I have Switchblade defeating Mox in the final. I just feel like he needs something. But again, you could see Mox retaining and carry on the damn cup the whole year, bragging about how he's the best.
I mean,
there's a lot of ways. Nigel could win it and carry that damn cup and get his Wembley moment.
That would be great. Honestly, either one.
Belt. And it's a wrestler's belt, so like, if you're telling me if Nigel has it, he has to defend it every once in a while, and then potentially go on the C2. Oh no, not more Nigel.
Yeah. Oh no, and you're right, Steve. It does limit guys like Ace Austin who are in that mid to lower tier of that group who are trying to elevate themselves. And I've always thought Ace Austin was a good wrestler. He's had some good moves. He's got fucking legs, man. That dude has got some strong ass looking legs. He's always had a good.
Crazy.
He's kind of got almost that gymnast, which I know he's kind of that like break dancer type. You know what I mean? A little bit of parkourish, type. But I mean, he's going to do something. But yeah, it's going to be hard right now for him to get anywhere in this company. Like you said, it's just too loaded. It's too loaded.
And I think that's why I know a lot of people kind of get upset about all the titles, but I think that's why they have so many mid-card titles, is so you can give people things and meaningful storylines, because it's a very top-heavy main division.
Yeah, and we don't have two tag championships. We have one. We have one trios, which is our extra compared to what some of the other companies have. And I mean, okay, so they have a Intercontinental and a US and whatever speed championships and all this other crap. I mean, why can't we have a TBS, a TNT and a Continental and, things of this nature? Why not? Especially when they're going to be these tournament-type championships, which are workhorse. If you're giving me a workhorse championship, how can we say that's a bad thing?
True.
In what,
He says they've been using him quite a bit. That's right. I know. I saw a couple matches on Ring of Honor on the YouTube that he looked good in. And I think, again, he's getting paid. He's working his craft. Some wrestlers know their role, and again, it could be something. Maybe Tony likes to sit on these wrestlers for a while and then give them stories later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of seeds planting for a lot of things, not only for the rest of this year, but next year. Like, it very much seems like paths are woven from all in to all in. So, like, this next couple weeks could also be set up stories for next year, because that's what they did at last year's All In. You had Cope and Cage kind of teasing their tag team reunion. Now they're heading into All In as a tag team champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the parallels.
Right, correct.
And then the last match in Vegas before we get to Collision is Moxley versus Jack Perry. There's no way Moxley's losing his belt in the first opening round. But it's good for...
Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, but again, it's good. Just like his match against Okada, I think it's good for him to kind of showcase against Mox. And I'll say it, I wouldn't hate to see Jack Perry as a Death Rider. If for some reason he's I think I wouldn't hate it. I'm not saying we need him to be a bunch of Death Riders. I wouldn't say no to that, especially if we know how long Lucha's out.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine the Death Riders with a dinosaur, but stranger things have happened.
that is fair. Plus, he could turn into the ultimate weapon too.
That is true. That's why they should send some more of these guys from around.
Yeah.
Up as guys. I agree, Steve. 100%. They should use it like the NXT Black and Gold, where they would have, KO go back down and fight on the pay-per-view against Finn Balor. Right,
but the only thing is then, unfortunately, you put him with somebody like Bang Bang, who's on television every week. So then it's, and this is just my opinion, but when you're on the main shows weekly, it's really hard to move you back down and keep you there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, after some time and things, lull down, maybe he could. But then you got to figure out, well, why did he get out of the Bang Bang gang? Or is he still in there? Is he their Ring of Honor presence? You know what I mean? Like, how does that work? You know, do the guns go? Do you send the guns down there to work in the tag division? You know what I mean? Then, like,
speaking of, there's still a lot of room between the dogs, the Death Riders, the guns, especially after tonight. You know, you have Marina causing some low blows. You know, the guns got their poor little bullets smashed up today. But again, I like that, they're not defeated. They know they got Jay. They know. So again, they're still setting up that anarchy, and that's why, I want to pick Jay, but that's the other part. I'm like, they're still setting this storyline up. I don't see David Finlay winning, but I also, Jay could be needed out there. But is this Jay's distracted doing this, and they're on their own? Like, there's still a lot they can do with this. I feel like they're still. So I'm curious to see what they do next Wednesday and Saturday, because we got some commingling to do. Ricochet will be a fantastic Ring of Honor World Champion, but I think that'd be kind of a downgrade for him right now.
Yeah, the demand the demand as a stable is above Ring of Honor, I think, right now. Now they just lost the championship, so they could maybe do a story angle with that, like, oh well, we weren't as good as we thought we were, so maybe we're going to go down to Ring of Honor and fuck everybody up down there just to show them who the hell we are. I need to fill my cup up real quick. I'll be back.
Yeah, you're good.
Take me like 2 minutes.
You're good. Oh. So while Jeff's doing that, too, let me ask you guys who are in the comments, which match are you looking forward to the most out of the next matches we have coming up for the Continental Cup? Are you looking forward to Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly? Are you looking forward to Cage versus Heshiero? Shibata versus Nigel? Jack Perry versus Mox? Finlay versus Jay White? Which one are you guys looking forward to the most? And what are your predictions in the comments? Who do you guys see in the Final Four? Who do you guys see winning the whole thing? Because that's a big part, I think, the Cup is. There's a lot of different storylines here because, even next week on Collision, you're setting up two friends going. You have Roderick Strong taking on Kyle O'Reilly. That's going to be fantastic to see friends go after each other. Jeff's favorite,
Messiah of the Backbreaker.
even though he didn't pick him to win.
I don't know. I just kind of felt like maybe they might go with Kyle. I don't know.
I could see that, especially with Kyle's push last year that kind of got stalled out after injury.
And he has a lot more storyline with Moxley than what Roddy does. That was my other reasoning behind that.
Switchblade versus Finlay, Roddy versus KR for sure.
I agree.
Think with that, could Kyle O'Reilly win the whole damn thing because he beats Mox where it matters the most?
That's where I was going with that. That's where my head was why he beat Roddy. Because I got to be honest, normally I wouldn't pick that. But I was trying to use my brain, and you know how that doesn't work in wrestling a lot. So
no, it doesn't. Mine especially.
Yeah. Yep. And I apologize, everybody. I had to step away. I'm blown up. I played 7 softball games today. I finished literally like an hour ago, something like that.
Yeah, Jeff's a trooper. He went out there winning softball games, 7 of them in a row, and then came on to record this with us.
Championships, baby.
Hell yeah. That's because it's AEW's where the best wrestler, and you're where the best softball players go.
It was fun. I can't say that. I'm blown up, but it was fun.
And then the last 2 matches we have before they get to the final 8, we have Brian Cage versus Heshiero, which I like you said, Don Callis Dissension, and then Shibata versus Nigel.
Sorry, Shibata.
Yeah, right. Collision next week is definitely loaded, but Brian Cage Heshiero is interesting because, again, like you said, Heshiero is fantastic. They need to get him out. He's so over in CMLL. He was getting cheered over Mystico. Mystico was getting fucking booed
Correct.
at Grand Slam because they liked Heshiero more. Not because they hated Mystico, but they like Heshiero more right now.
That's awesome, in my opinion, because I like the alchemist of the ring, baby. I love it. That's one of my favorite nicknames besides the Messiah of the Backbreaker. It's maybe not the top, but it's right up there.
It's up there.
And that's a great
he
one.
moves in the ring. It's like you were talking about earlier about bigger guys moving. He wrestles like someone who's like 6 feet tall and 220 pounds, but he's probably 6'2", close to 3.
Because he's smaller than what we all think. It's just a lot of times, I think it's more so the guys he wrestles help. And yes, Steve, I would love to see Roddy get a good run somewhere. For sure. And yeah, I would say the way Hechisero's going, yeah, that probably wouldn't be a bad pick, Maureen. Because I know Tony does see that when people are over and different things, he's definitely tries to help keep them relevant for a little bit longer at least. So.
Oh, he's only 5'10", 230. Okay.
Yeah, see, right. That's what I mean. It's kind of like Beast Mort. It's kind of like Beast Mortos, in a way. Okay. He's not a big dude either, but he wrestles that bigger style. Yeah, you're right.
Today.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. They can't get a dub. It's unfortunate, too.
I was going to say, I think what helps Beast Mortos is he's stocky, but he's quick. Like, even when he was Black Taurus, when he was in TNA, or when he was in AAA and everything, he would just bulldoze you. And I think Heshiro is good at that, too. But he's got Brian Cage, who's a brick shithouse. But I'd love to see Heshiro get the win. I think
it's going to come to his technical. I think it's going to be like some of his technical where he does kind of his funky, crazy kind of pinning combinations and some of that. I think that's going to be what maybe will take Brian Cage down. Something weird like that where he's so big, he kind of locks him up and gets him in a spot where, the muscles don't maybe help.
True.
So,
like a trapping pin.
Something like that where it's like, oh, man, I can't, my muscles don't help with this. It's flexibility, or whatever, which he is, but, got to sell something.
That is true. And then, obviously, we got the Hurt Syndicate on TV, finally.
Awesome.
Little weird. It says that they wanted they said that basically, if we work together, that's more money, more violence. So it could be an alliance, but again, I don't know if I want another mega faction. I think that's the only issue is do we really need another giant faction? Because STP's already pretty big on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it could also mean maybe does Shane Taylor kind of leave and they just merge and they're all just the Hurt Syndicate? Like, I feel like there's a lot of potential with it, but I'm pretty confident in it. And I also agree with Maureen. I think he probably could outsmart Cage too, like what Jeff was saying with the pin.
Yeah,
because
he does have some great
TV.
I'm really grateful to hear that. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't comment completely. But when you told me that, it was like Shane Taylor Promotions. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but yes, Steve, I want to see Cage win too. That's who I predicted, even though I am a Hechicero fan. I just think it would upset the status quo more if Cage won. Is why I picked Cage over Hechicero. Because he'd be the same way. I would pick Hechicero normally, like you said. He's so over. He has a major championship for one of our partner companies. So I mean, it's smart to have him win, but at the same time, for the Don Callis family, it's not smart for him to win. So
right, and also could.
Why beat your world champion? Maybe I take him on in CMLL for his fucking title. Cage could do that too.
That is true.
Oh, everybody wants to talk about their fucking championships, Kevin Knight and fucking Kyle Fletcher and this and that, Hechicero. Yeah, well, how about I take yours? I'll do a little Andrade on your ass.
And there's a lot of dissension going on right now because you had Okada and Fletcher. They have their issues still.
Yep.
When after Kyle Fletcher won, he's celebrating. Okada big-timed him. Like, that was the big thing I forgot to mention. Okada big-timed his ass. He did his entrance and caught everything. Like, fuck you, this is my moment now. Kyle saw that. He's not stupid. So you have everything biting Don in the ass. He's collecting all these people who have egos. Well, the thing is, you put a lot of egos in one room, that's not a good combination, and that's what's happening. Yep. You could see that with the Heshio. You could see that with the Okada Fletcher. They kind of alluded to Takeshita. Obviously, he's not coming back, but he's been killing it in the G1. I haven't officially caught up on the night 13 matches yet. I'm about 2 nights behind, but
okay, all right.
Based on the standings, it looks like it's been going really well. They did show a video package of the G1, and I like that they talked about how Takeshita is going to make history to try to win a back-to-back. They took a shot. They said, just like Okada. So I like that they're still keeping the storyline
nice.
The Fletcher and the Takeshita and the Okada by basically saying, well, I mean, he's going for history, so Takeshita has a chance. I mean, he has a chance to upset. He's only 2 points behind right now, so he has. Let me just see if I can get to the actual A block here. Terrible. So that's B block, A block. Where are we Oh, so I put B Block twice. So I apologize. There we go. Takeshita is only 2 points behind, so he would have to have a really good night. But I think he has a chance. But Callum Newman on the B Block side also has a chance, and there's a storyline with the Empire. So I'm curious these next few nights to see how it shapes up, because next week is pretty much the end of the G1. So we will see probably, Steve, we will probably see Takeshita. If he wins or not, we will probably see him back at least by the Go Home show.
We need it.
Because
I agree.
Oh, so go ahead.
No, I'm saying we need him. I agree with his statement. We need him back. He's on fire, dude. He's on fire.
And for that story.
Yes, he's on fire.
Like, does he take back his title? Like, how does that seem to work out? Like,
Well, because if he does that, you figure just if he does that, let's just say, for example, yes, he comes back, he claims his championship back. Well, now we got Okada Fletcher. That can happen whenever because we don't have a championship in the picture. But the winner of those then has beef again with Takeshita or whatever. So, I mean, we definitely need him back. Like I said, he's been killing it. So
I apologize. He's tied for first with 10 points. So he's 2 points in first. I wrote my notes wrong.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bowlegger leading the A block. But you have to watch out. He does have to watch out for Ryohei Iwa and Takagi because they're still climbing.
Okay.
The only other person who's really in danger in the A block is Jake Lee, and B block you have Gabe Kidd and Callum kind of leading the charge with Drilla in behind. So you do have a lot of big names that are involved in multiple stories in the G1. So I think that really could shape up the next week too. Obviously, I haven't fully watched Night 13 for, so there could be a match that changes the whole dynamic of it. But
right.
I mean, as of right now, Takeshita sitting on top has they're talking about him repeating. They're talking about Okada being the greatest tournament wrestler ever. That's definitely fuel to the fire because you have Okada trying to prove he's still the best. Fletcher saying "fuck you, I am." Takeshita goes out there and wins his second straight G1. He's gonna come back like, "What about me?" Like,
what about me? Yep.
That's gonna add that, like Maureen's saying here, that triple threat, the one you've been saying since like day one.
We've all been kind of hitting on that one too. Our big ones were pretty much Will Kenny, which we got that. We manifested that sort of. And then our other one that we were talking about, was triple threat. Fletcher, Okada, Takeshita. I mean, that's fire. That's fire. Sign me the fuck up. I mean, I'm already signed up, but...
Well, I was just going to say, I don't think we can really back out now.
No, my shit's non-refundable in this stage.
But right now we have 6 confirmed matches, essentially, for All In. You know there's going to be that triple threat, which would be 7. I'm hoping there's a women's casino gauntlet for 8. So there's still room easily to add 3, 4 people are going to get upset, but again, it's an afternoon show for you in the States.
Yeah.
For us in the States. I could see them making this a 13-card show with the pre-show very easily.
4.5 hours. It's going to be something like this because this is also one of the major shows. You know what I mean? So a major show should have that like 4 hour, 4.5. That's fine. And Steve, for your comment of put Fletcher in a world title picture, I mean, this could be his way to get out of these. I don't want to shit on these championships, but secondary compared. They're secondary compared to the world heavyweight. That's all. You know what I mean? I don't want to downgrade these championships because they're all good. But if he loses, that could be a way to get him into a different championship picture.
Yeah, Tekla is interesting. Hasn't shown up since she's lost. Julia is I believe 3-2 in the Grand Prix.
She lost. So she must have lost like her last 2 or something then, because I thought she was 3-0.
I think she lost her last 2, but she won 3 with submissions. She won 3 with End of Heartache. That's Roddy's song, Heartless.
I knew what you meant, but yeah, because I was like, wait, I thought she was 3-0. So damn, she must have dropped 2 decent, talents over there then. Because I know they seemed like they were pushing her hard.
So I feel like, Steve, we're going to get Tekla. I think it's just they're going to build that because right now they're focusing on the women's tag team story, which I really like. The Brawling Birds coming out tonight, taking on Vert Vixen and Viva Van, and then obviously Divine Dominion kind of mixing it up. So they're really building that story with them. We have Maya World, who's like she still needs something. Tekla versus Stardom, TBS title match. I don't think. I mean, I know they just did one, but I feel like they should do something because
something. I agree because you're having this
there's a lot of women
men's.
that have to be on this roster. I mean, on this card.
Correct, because you already have your men's with you have the finals of a tournament, and then you have other things like the gauntlet. Then, so you almost have to have something that includes more ladies. I mean, I could tinfoil you and go, okay, do we start a trios division and for ladies? I don't think I feel like that's not a viable thing right now because we're really trying to build the tag division first. But you know what I mean? I mean, it could be an option.
And you got to set up All Out. I mean, you kind of have to have something to set up All Out. Not saying so much Casino Gauntlet, but even if you have a number one contender match, even if it's a non-title, like maybe you do a Fatal 4-Way with Tekla and Statlander and Persephone, and you do something for like number one contender, and you get Persephone in All Out. Like you get a fresh face for whoever comes out All In as their first title defense. I think you got to set something up.
Well,
Steve
go ahead.
Same page.
Yep, I saw that now too. That could be interesting. But yeah, and you could also. What about? I know that the ladies do not have a Continental. But with Steve throwing in that TBS with Tekla and whatnot, what if we did TBS Cup tournament or something? And it's not, you know what I mean, or something like that. Maybe we added something for the ladies like that to where, we can have these viable matches over the course of the month to build into All Out, I guess, is where my point is with that.
There should be 7. I definitely think by the end of this year, I think they got to do a Continental Classic for the women, especially if they're set up a cup. You could easily have 2 All-In matches and 2 World's End matches every single year for the women and the men. You could have your cup finals for both the men and the women at All-In, and you could have your C2 finals for the men and the women at World's End. You kind of know when those are booked. You know when those tournaments are booked. I think you could lay it out. There's plenty of time between Ring of Honor and the main roster. Like Steve said right here, Red Velvet and Queen Amina are great wrestlers. They would do great in a tournament setting. Sky Blue has already shown she can do tournament settings. Julia's kind of like training. She's getting used to a tournament setting. Tekla's done tournaments before. Depending what her and Alex are doing, they've done tournaments before. You could bring back a Britt Baker, and I know she's divisive, but she's done tournaments before. She won the Owen. You have people who could do that, and I think it's time to at least look at it or explore options.
Well, and that's kind of where I was going with it. But then my whole thing is if we make it like the Continental, then do you have to then add that next championship? Which I don't definitely think they need another one.
I don't think you need another championship.
I would rather see it trios than a freaking singles championship for the ladies. I think before I'd see that.
What they could do, now I'm not saying steal from TNA because I know people get all that. Almost do a call your shot where you can choose what you want to. Like I think that'd be cool. Like maybe the cup is call your shot. Like choose which type. Do you want to go for the tag team or do you want to go for the TBS or do you want to go for the women's? Then that could be something like that would be fun. Like okay, if they win this cup, they can choose whatever. Even
the Ring of Honor women, and then that could be an out for Athena. I mean, and it would put a couple more talents down in Ring of Honor that made sense for them to be down there instead of just going, well, we just put them down there. Well,
yeah.
Okay, but why are they getting, I don't want to say downgraded, but why are they getting moved down is where my brain goes. So
also selfishly, even if it's on the pre-show, I want to see the Outrunners and Dalton Castle defend those trios titles at All In. I think if anyone's earned even a pre-show at Wembley, it's them. I'd love to see the youngest men alive get to go into the oldest stadium alive. I think it would just be so iconic. Just let them do that. I think they need to come up more. I think they're not up on TV enough. They were so over. They were so well loved, and there's still a spot for them.
Yeah.
But
they would get a huge pop too. I mean, let's just be honest. Especially they come out to their old. I like their older music better than their newer. And I think they played the older for something. Maybe it was their show they hosted. that they came
Yeah, I
out
was
to
gonna
their
say when
old
they come out
music.
on Dream, I think they play their old.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that one's so much better. It reminds me so much of like the old 16-bit, and for some reason, and it's just music, but you're like, oh, that totally is retro.
Does Athena? Jeff says if she loses the title, which I think so. I think even if she wins, I think we see her at All In. I think she's too important to keep off All In.
And maybe, like you said, that type of tournament or gauntlet or whatever type setting she could be a part of. And
Yeah,
you
because
could
last year she won the gauntlet, right?
Yes,
Okay, I was gonna say
she did win the gauntlet. She won the gauntlet.
So I hope so, but I guess before we wrap up, do you have anything else you wanted to add or ask anyone before we kind of wrap up for the night? Realize.
Well, going back, I just have to ask anybody because I did not watch. I only saw highlights. So we had spoke about it earlier, and I didn't ask it earlier. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, whatever. Okay, so did anybody out there watch the fucking Human Monies on a pole match? Okay, was it good? Was it bad? Or was it just the fucking shits? And then also, I saw the Minniehausens and the little Joe Hendry appearance, and then also Brad Williams getting to be a Minniehausen. How fucking awesome is that? I think that was fucking badass. Well, I mean, it's not like he hasn't met Danhausen a couple times now, and, Brad's got some wrestling chops, He's done a few things. I mean...
So now he's been Mini Steiner and Minniehausen.
That's what I mean.
And he's stunned Hornswoggle.
That's what I mean. So, I thought that was... But I wanted to mention that, so I don't know if anybody saw it, but if you did, please drop a comment or do something, because I am very curious to hear how good, bad, or shitty this fucking match was. So, I love Danhausen, and I love that he's killing it over there, merch and whatnot. And it's good to see him actually getting some more television time and matches. Because that's part of his stuff. He still needs to... Yes, Marine, you heard correctly. Human Monies on a pole match.
Yeah, it was a sack of money hanging from a pole, WCW 2000 style.
It's real. It's real, and it did happen. It did.
I did not see it. I
didn't either.
I did see all the videos of like the Minniehausens at WrestleCon with the one Brad shared. But I did see Danhausen kind of talking about what he's going to do with the money. So I know he won, but I don't know any. I know that's kind of. I do watch a little bit of AAA sometimes.
Oh no, I thought Dom won.
No, he lost.
Oh, did he? I thought I heard he won. Well, good. He shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Our boy Jared set off the pyro and the turnbuckle.
Attaboy, Jared K. That's what I like to hear, baby. Danhausen owes you some Human Monies. I'm throwing that out there. You owe Jared K, Danhausen. Come on, Donovan. I need you to pay up.
But all right, I think it's a great Saturday night. I think we'll wrap up. But I think too, before you go, we are only 208 subscribers away. So we are 792 as of today. To 200 away from 1,000, 208 away from having to shave my head. Maybe Jeff will have to shave my fucking head in London. Who knows?
You never know. You never know.
I don't follow the stuff on the other channel.
That's okay. I only keep up a little. You're okay.
But thank you guys again for tuning in every Saturday. We love doing this. Thank you, Jeff, for coming right after your game and hanging out with us. We always talk some Saturday night.
Shenanigans?
It's always fun. It's always raw and unfiltered. There's not really a flow, but we have fun with it. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Enjoy the summer. We'll see you next time. Remember, always
keep the kayfabe. See you guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.
But again, thank you for partying with us. But it's getting late. I must bid you adieu. So from Kenny Omega and Rijo, goodbye and good night.
Goodbye. Mwah! And good night.